Which one is it? When I lie to others, I'm trying to deceive them. When do we see deception in the Bible? In the garden, in Genesis, we see deception. A snake rose up and deceives Eve. And because he deceives Eve, passes that deception on to Adam. Watch this. The snake deceives Eve. Eve deceives Adam. Adam and Eve become delusional. The snake deceives Eve. Eve deceives Adam. Adam and Eve become delusional to the point that they actually believe they can hide from God. So the question I would like to ask you, who or what are you trying to deceive? But more importantly, where and what areas are you delusional? Some of us will never grow because we won't accept the reality of where we're weak. Preach, PMJ, where I am weak. Come on, help me now. When I'm weak, how can he be strong if you're delusional about the times when you're weak? How can God pick you up if you're delusional about the time when you're down? How can we intercede for you when you're deceptive about your pain? So now we're checking on you. Hey, are you doing okay? No, I'm good. Then because you're deceptive with us about your pain, you become delusional with it about yourself. Then you begin to blame people for not helping you when you're the reason you're not being helped because you're lying to yourself and to others. When in my life, if you can't handle the fullness of who I am, if I'm not okay, I'm going to tell you I'm not okay. If you really don't want to help, don't ask me. See, that's the problem. We need to start telling people the truth. To reveal if their motives are really as pure as they say they are. Are you deceptive or delusional? And I want to be honest, there have been seasons in my life, baby girl, where I have been delusional. Yeah. Delusional about the lack of strength of certain relationships. Delusional about perceived loyalties.
That's good.
I love you so much that I am now delusional about the fact that you keep proving to me you don't love me equally. Delusional. Because when you are delusional, you self-impose your strengths on others' weaknesses.
That's right.
You exaggerate your strengths for weaknesses. So you can see this person isn't what they're supposed to be. But you then become delusional about how much more better you can make them. I'm talking heavy today. And when we lie, what does in your notes for definition of lie? To lie is to practice deceit, falsehood, and treachery, either by word or action. Now, I'm going to say that slow because it's not on the screen. That definition didn't hit me to the car ride over here, and I didn't want to rush and have them put that on the screen and mess something up. So I'm going to say it again, okay? Somebody in the comments write that and just pin it for me, Ebony, so other people can see it, okay? To lie. Rock City's definition is to practice deceit, falsehood, and treachery, either, here's the most important part, by word or action. That's cold. You want to know why that's cold? Tiffany, you want to know why that's cold? Deacon Mel, you want to know why that's cold? Ro, I ain't seen you, but Ro, you want to know why this is cold? This is so cold because we were taught that lies were verbal. We were taught that a lie was something you say. When I come to suggest a lie, it can also be something you live. A lie can be something you do. Right now on Instagram are some beautiful lies. Yep. When you leave off the service today, I want you to just go down your timeline and I want you to confuse everybody. I want you to double tap every lie you see. That's what I want you to do. Oh, look at how happy we are. Lie. Look at this beautiful apartment. Lie. Because people will not show you their truth. They show you the manicured truth, which in essence is the opposite of the real truth, which by default is somebody shout Michael. Because lies are not just by word. They are also by action. Can I ask you a question? What's the first lie Adam and Eve told? Everybody confused. Can I tell you what I feel like the first lie was? When they acted by hiding themselves. This is why the first question God asks of them is, where are you? And what do? We hid ourselves because we were naked. Then I believe the text says what? Who told you you were naked? They were living. Now let me free you. Can we go here? I told you this series right here is thought provoking. Is that cool? Can I free you real quickly? They were naked from the jump. Okay. So can I ask you a question? Are they naked when God asks where they are? Yes. No. They have on clothes. They have on leaves. Because the text says we hid ourselves. Let me show you how powerful deceit and delusion is. It made what was natural feel illegal. That's what deceit and delusion did. See, deceit and delusion. That's why you got to get negative, toxic people out your life. See, there are certain people in my life now that I'm having hard conversations with, and I'm being very clear, very direct right now in my life. Very clear, very direct in my life right now, because I am coming aggressively against deceit and delusion. That's what kills most relationships, most movements, most ministries, most marriages, most businesses, deceit and delusion. Deception and delusion. I'm telling you. So now when I meet people, see, people would do stuff like, see, you ain't check on, you ain't come around no more. It was a whole pandemic. Didn't nobody come around for a year. We won't talk like we used to. So now I say stuff like, well, if you really want to know the truth, can you handle the truth? Don't tell me the truth. I never talk to you. We talked at church. Because of a pandemic, we're no longer at church. So I'm not going to magically start talking to you on the phone when the place was taken. What you just revealed to me is that you allowed self-delusion to make you believe we were something we weren't. That's not a me issue. That's a you issue. And some of y'all looking at me like, no, he didn't. Some of y'all going to be free when you start telling people, no, I am not about to live under your forced restrictions. No, you're not going to have me living based off of rules you change and create daily and weekly to fit your false reality. So what I'm trying to get you to realize is somebody say, I quit lying. I want to argue that every time you go a place that is antithetical to who God called you to be, in that place, you ain't just kicking it, you're living a lie. Every time. Every time. I'm young. I'm fly. You know, I want to hang sometime. It was Miles' homecoming. I want to go to the homecoming as Pastor Mike Jr., 5-time Stellar Award winner, 2021 Artist of the Year. You don't think I want to walk in Miles' homecoming like, hey, what's up, boy? Hey, you don't think I want to do that? You don't think I want to go with all the brothers like, what's up, boy? You doing good? But some of the environments, the mere fact that I'm there makes me become a lie. See, some of y'all too busy trying to figure out what's a lie and don't realize by default you're becoming a lie. Y'all don't like me today. Y'all don't like me today. You go to Joshua 6. So look what it says. Jericho and everything in it must be completely destroyed. This is critical because in the book of Joshua is about the life and leadership of a man by the name of Joshua, who is Moses' successor. Moses dies and God taps Joshua on the shoulder and tells Joshua to pick up where Moses left off. Okay, so I want to make this make sense. Joshua is serving Moses. Joshua's life is a life that is antithetical to the lie. Yeah. Moses tells 12 of his top people, go scout out the promised land. 12 people go to the promised land. 10 come back and say, we are grasshoppers in our own eyes. Watch what they say. We cannot do this. Joshua says, yes, we can. I want you to catch this. What's the first lie we must denounce? The lie of the majority. The lie of the majority. What is the lie of the majority? The lie of the majority, or the principle of the majority, states that if everybody's doing it, it must be okay. If everybody's going in that direction, it must be right. So that means if everybody wilding and they look like they making it, I can wow. You want to know why you can't do what everybody else do? It's because the grace and the oil on your life is so different that you will have to pay for what they play in. It's different, ain't it? I'm only preaching to 5 of y'all who see everybody in your circle act a fool. Then the moment you decide to at least think about acting a fool, your top break down, your hips start hurting, your head start hurting. It's like they can go do whatever they want to do. And the moment, why, PMJ, you have been set upon royal priesthood, peculiar people. I have anointed, somebody say anointed, which means I set you apart, which means you the truth. Yeah. You the truth. I can't let you live lies. No, if they do something, it impacts them. If you do something, it impacts y'all. There's a difference between them and y'all. If they win, they win. If I win, we win. I need 100 people to type, when I win, we win. I need 100 people to type, when I win, we win. You ain't been in church in 15 months. Just look at your neighbor and say, when I win, we win. When God bless me, everything connected to me going to another level. When God bring me out, everybody connected to me going out. When God raised me up, everything connected to me going up. Why? Because God put a different level of favor on my life. Somebody shall I quit? Leave me alone, right? So hear me when I say this. I need you to catch this. Jesus, sit down. Jesus lets you know that lies are unacceptable because he says, I am the way. See, thank you, Darius. Hear me when I say this. When he says, I am the way to truth, truth is not just a principle. It's a person. This is why we got to be careful when the culture say stuff like live your truth. Be careful. Be careful. Because it may be your truth, but it still may be a lie. Live your truth. That's one of the things I pride myself on as not just a pastor or a man of God, but as a person. As a person, I pride myself on the fact that I really believe from my heart when you see me, you kind of know what you get. You know, there is no false pretense with me. I'm not trying to be out as if I'm something. I don't try to come off holier than thou. If half of y'all found out I cussed, I'm pretty sure all of y'all would be like, yeah, I can see that. Raise your hand if you feel like I can see that. Like, come on, tell the truth. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Raise your hand. If somebody called you today and said, girl, I heard Pastor Mike cuss, who would be like, yeah, I can see that. Sometimes during the sermon, I could have swore I heard him cuss, but I couldn't rewind it quick enough to kind of find the spot. Because I just try to be, now that's not a valid excuse to cuss. It just means I try to live my life in a way that you can see the areas where I'm still growing. See, that's why I try to do it. That's why I'm real about, man. Every now and then I have to tell my team, I'm liking the praise of people just a little too much. I've never really been popular, never really been cute, never really been that guy. So now that sometimes you get some of the praise, it can go to your head. So I don't lie about it. Well, how you handling everything? Wait, no, I've been prepared for this, God. How you like? I don't know. You can pray for me. I like it a little too much. I ain't gonna lie. I like it a little too much sometimes because truth is not just a principle. It is a person. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And I want you to catch this. Why, Pastor Mike? This is cold-blooded because Joshua's life, the first lie that I have to come against, and if I don't finish, we'll finish next week, is the lie of the majority. The lie of the majority. Baby girl, what all God's doing in your life, and as young as you are and as focused as you are, and how much you bless my heart just seeing you become everything he's called you to be, it's going to be so hard for you to live the truth. Why, PMJ? Because of the majority. And because most people of God don't find themselves in the majority, by default, we believe we're inadequate. So the feeling of being inadequate makes the lie relievable. Is relievable a word? Leslie, is relievable a word? Okay, it is now. Who knew what I meant though? Relieve. It takes the sting of the pain away. Did you catch what I just said right there? So hear me when I say this. God tells Joshua, Moses tells Joshua, go to the promised land. 10 come back, say we can't. The majority. Joshua says, yes, we can. The first lie he overcomes is the lie of the majority. Why is that so important? Because his discernment said he could. Why? When he had never fought. Yeah. Why should Joshua, if I'm not mistaken, why has Joshua fought at this point? Who has he fought? He's fought the Amalekites. Who else has he fought? Is that his first battle? The Amalekites. He doesn't have a track record. Hear me? A track record of being oh so tough. Oh so bad. He fights the Amalekites. He goes over here, sees giants. He says, nah, yes, we can. The lie of the majority. What's the second lie Joshua has to overcome? Moses then dies. Joshua spends days mourning. God comes to Joshua and says, Joshua, your season of mourning is up. Rise up. Take these people. The second lie we have to come over, not only the lie of the majority, but the lie of mourning. All right, so I want you to do me a favor. We're live this morning. If you're watching me right now, this is live. I am in the sanctuary preaching to you live, so I can't give you all the tricks that I normally do to make sermons come to life and all the graphics on the screen because Dre has not evolved to a level that I can do that live just yet. But we're going to continue to pray for Dre that he gets to another level, so while I'm preaching, he can just have all type of graphics. But since he can't, I need your help, okay? The first lie was the lie of the what? Majority. All right. The second lie is the lie of what? Mourning. How do you spell mourning? How else can you spell mourning? Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes. What is weeping? Mourning. So what the text is saying subconsciously is that there is a time for mourning. Then there's a time of mourning. You missed it. There is a time for mourning, and then there is a time of mourning. And many of you are going to miss the blessing and the breakthrough because you keep making your for your of. God says, I am giving you an allotted time to cry over them. I am giving you an allotted time to cry over that. I am giving you an allotted time to cry over your mistake, over your issue, over your pain. But when the time is up, it is time for you to get up. And one of the greatest lies you keep telling yourself is that you still have time to be silly. You still have time to cry and to mourn. And for many of you, you're about to miss what God is about to do next because you're still crying over what he did last. Quit lying to myself. I want to say something and I pray you can help it. They left. I don't know if they're coming back. But if they do come back, they're not coming back to who they left. Y'all miss what I just said right there. They left. I don't know if they're coming back. But if they come back, they are not coming back to who they left. Because I'm trying to get all of this out of my system. Because I know mourning may endure for a night. But when the daylight breaks, joy, somebody say joy. Joy, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Which means weeping may endure for the night, but joy, what is joy? Strength comes when? Sit down. Strength comes when? All right, so let's break it down. Weeping is what? Mourning, mourning. So mourning may endure for the night. What is night? A time slot. So mourning may endure for an allotted time. But joy, what is joy? Strength comes when? In the next time slot. Which means, I need you to catch this, I got an allotted time to be weak. But then I also have an allotted time to be strong. Can I free you? If you're still mourning in the morning, you are intentionally weak. This is the equivalent of somebody being healed, but choosing to be in a wheelchair. You ain't weak by default. Watch this. You like the attention. Michael, I am praying. And some of y'all need to stop lying to yourself, thinking, well, I ain't never had nobody help you. You 30 now. You 45 now. At a certain point, tell that little child that was broken, I need you to grow up. Because I'm not wasting the next phase of my life still crying about the last phase of my life. Then I prophesy scripture, and the latter shall be greater. So what do we realize? The first lie is the lie of the majority. I may never be in the majority. The majority say stuff like, we can't own them all. The majority say stuff like, well, ain't nobody going to church no more. The majority say stuff like, man, you might as well just go on, quit. I don't care about that job. No. Whose report? Whose report will you believe? We believe the report of the Lord. The second lie is the lie of mourning. Thinking you can just cry all you want to. Because y'all sit down. Because the culture tells us lies subconsciously. The devil is slick. That's why he hisses. He's slick. The devil was the prince of the air. Let's make that modernized, contemporized, McClurized, prince of the air, which means equivalent airwaves. Anything you hear on radio, visually on TV, socially, those are airwaves, which means he has access to it. Access to it. Devil is slick. The devil he just drops commercials. That's all they do. From a child, he inceptions you as a child. That's one of my favorite movies, Inception. How they would go into a person's brain and drop little ideas. That person would wake up really believing it was their idea. It's called Inception. I inception them all the time. It's Inception. I just walk up to the staff sometimes and say, man, you're doing such a good job. It's so great if you just did so and so, so. They walk in there 2 minutes later. You know what I've been thinking of? Inception. Inception. Hear me. To the point now they look at me and say, you ain't gonna inception me. You ain't gonna inception me. Hear me. So hear me. I love that. But that's what the devil do. He gets us as a child. It's real subtle. It's my party. And I cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want. What's the next verse? You would cry too if it happened to you. No one. And because now as a child you're told, it's my party. My party. What's the adjacent lie to that? If you're good at parties, they call you the life. What is life? The pulse, the heartbeat. So let's substitute party with life and heartbeat. It's my heart. And I cry what is crying? Mourning. So as a child, they tell you subconsciously, because your physical ear heard it, your spirit man caught it. So let me free you. Your ear is a container. Your spirit, the strength of your spirit becomes a strainer. So all my women who can cook, all my fellas who can cook, you know that if you get some spaghetti or something that's in the pot and you just want to pour it in a strainer because you want all the water to come out or whatever. And if I said that wrong, just y'all get what I'm saying. You put it in a strainer and it keeps what's needed, but it lets out what's not. Your spiritual truth on your spiritual walk with Christ, your discipleship gives you straining because you hear a lot during the day. Today, you're going to hear my word. They mess, they tea, your own issues. Your spiritual discernment has to strain it. If you're not in your word, not fasting, not praying, not giving, not committed, you have no straining, which means all of it just, and whatever strongest remains. So it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. I can cry if I want to. God says, no, Joshua, your time for crying is get up. It's over. He says, now get up. Watch this. And take these people over. Take these people over. He takes these people over the water, right? So we run into Joshua 6, right? Jericho and everything in it must be completely destroyed as an offering to the Lord. So let's stay right there, okay? Joshua gets to Jericho. Who knows this story? Joshua beats the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. If Dre wasn't in the back filming, he would have started singing. We sung that in the 8th grade. All right? Joshua beat the battle of Jericho, okay? We know this. Y'all know that they walked around the walls. All right. The third lie I need you to debunk is the lie of mimic strategy. Mimic strategy. What was the first lie? No. The lie of the majority. Second lie was what? Mourning. Third lie, mimic strategy. What am I talking about, PMJ? Joshua gets to Jericho and God says, don't fight, walk. No other city has been taken like this. If you're going to go to battle, we need to find a general who has a good strategy and do what they did. God says, you're different. I'm going to knock the wall down. That's for everybody who's on social media looking at how people grew their business. Be careful if you buy the lie of mimic strategy. What worked for them may not be what works for me. You see their end success. What if God is saying, I'm going to give you what they got without having to lose what they had? Michael. So you see a million followers, you don't realize their family didn't make it and they half crazy. God said, I'm taking you through it and you're going to come out whole. You're going to be saved and paid. Blessed, not stressed. I'm preaching to somebody already. It is the lie of mimic strategy. Mimic strategy. I am so proud of myself, and I rarely say stuff like that because the pressure to be back in church right now is at an all-time high. And I'm getting it from all ends now. People, when are we going to open? What are we going to do? So you doing concerts at places? That's my health. I have a right to decide where I'm going to go personally. I cannot just lackadaisically call thousands of people into one place. No, when I go to a concert, I stand on the stage, I sing, I go right back to the back. So I'm dealing with so much pressure. Well, why we can't do it like them? Is it working for them? You saw that picture. I saw that angle. Thank you, James. I saw their manicured truth. No, so right now in this season, I am hearing from God. I am hearing from God. YPMJ, now I mean it's from the depths of my soul. I am not sure how much of my sanity can handle one of you. I don't even want to say it out loud because I was irresponsible. Now I know there's going to come a certain point where we just got to trust God totally. At the same time, there's a lot that goes into black church, especially when thousands of people are in the room. So what I say now is I'm not going to fall to the lie of mimic strategy. And the truth of the matter is I don't say it a lot. A lot of the strategy you see is from me. No. So hear me when I say this. Many of you right now are forfeiting your destiny because you're mimicking their personality. I'm going to say it again. Many of you are forfeiting your destiny because you're too busy mimicking personality. You like how it looks on them. So I'm going to try to preach like you because if I preach like you, I'll get what you got. I'm going to try to dress like you because if I dress like you, I'll attract what you got. I'm going to try to build my stuff just like yours because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. How you know it's not broke? Do you get the diagnostic report? Do you see the inner workings? It's mimic strategy. Joshua said, can you imagine the pressure he could have been under to tell his people, hey, y'all, don't bring no swords. We just going to walk. And do me a favor. I'm going to be very clear. Don't nobody say nothing. Walk in silence. Keep your ideas to yourself. Now, I want to free you real quickly. Although nobody said he was crazy, I bet they was looking at him like he was crazy. I bet the second time he came around that waters. Why PMJ? Can you put this in your notes? It's not on the screen. Can you put this in your notes? There are certain times when I need your agreement, and there are certain times when I need your compliance. There are certain times when I need you in full agreement with me, baby girl. Hey, this is what we doing. We giving, we trusting God, we doing so-and-so, and I need your heart to be in that. Then there are certain times when I'm like, hey, this is what we doing, whether you like it or not, just comply. So good. In your life, there are seasons when you need people to be in agreement with you. Then there are seasons when you need people to be in compliance. Hey, I love you from the bottom of my heart, but you really don't have a choice right here. If you don't like this, you're going to have to leave. If you're going to stay, you're going to have to comply. The strategy is too important. Joshua walks around the wall. I'm not going to finish the sermon today. I'll come back and get it next week, okay? So Joshua walks around the wall. You notice the wall comes down. The wall comes down. All right? Wall comes down. So now Joshua, are y'all with me? God tells Joshua something very specific. Look at this. He says, Jericho and everything in it must be completely destroyed. Let's just leave that right there. Jericho and everything in it must be completely destroyed. Completely destroyed. That right there is enough. That right there is enough. The next lie that many of us tell ourselves, I hope you catch this and I'm going to explain it, is the law of mercy. The lie of mercy. Yes. All right, let's do this together. I need my scholars. Define grace. Getting something you don't deserve, a merited favor. Who else has a good definition of grace? Okay. What's the definition of mercy? So grace is getting something you don't deserve. Mercy is not getting something you do deserve. All right. So the law of mercy to Pastor Mike Jr. is when God tells you to kill something you friend. You got some habits God said destroy. You showed mercy. You kept it in your back pocket. You left them, but you didn't delete them. You stopped, but you ain't renounce it. You put it up, you ain't throw it away. You showed it mercy. Can I ask you a question? God will never ask you for a thing he has not done. When the children of Israel leave Egypt, he allows Pharaoh and his army to chase him. He lets them get in the water, and he allows the water to what? Crush them. Why did God wipe them out? Because had he not destroyed them completely, they would have forever been chasing them. And at a certain point, God don't want you running from something. He wants you running to something. Too many of y'all have spent your life running from stuff when it's time for you to run to something. Running from pain when God wants you to run to purpose. Running from frustration when God ready for you to run to favor. Somebody ought to shout, I'm running to. I'm running to. But you cannot properly run to as long as you keep showing stuff mercy that God called you to properly destroy. Destroy it. I'll handle it. It's going to be stuff, Pastor Kurt, when you get to Destiny City, that you're going to fall in love with certain people and certain things, and you can't make the mistake I've made in the past of the lot of mercy when God tells you to wipe out a department, but you keep pieces. So then you look up and all of a sudden, that same spirit is still there because you never completely destroyed it. Or I should have put people in a room and just said, hey, I want to make this very clear. This is my beloved son. This right here is flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. So I want to make it very clear. To come against him or them is a direct attack against me. Anybody got a problem with it can leave. I should have destroyed that spirit completely. But when you play with it, it play you. Right, that's crazy. When you play with it, it play you. Why, PMJ? When you don't destroy something completely, what you're really doing is becoming delusional that you can control it. Michael, which makes it a what? Lie. Because there are two types of lies, deception and delusion. Deception is when you're trying to do what? Deceive somebody else. Delusion is when you're lying to who? You. So when God tells you to end something or kill it completely, and you don't kill it completely, you're delusional because you're under the idea that you can handle it. Can I ask you a question? I need 7 people. If I'm going to ask this question, 7 of y'all ought to type. You're talking to me. Somebody going to throw your hand up in the room. Who's tried to stop something God told you to stop, but you didn't stop it all the way? You kept a piece of it in your life because you thought you had it under control, only to find out it came all the way back. And when it came back stronger. 10 times worse. Completely destroyed as an offering to the Lord. Now watch this. Only Rahab, the prostitute, and the others in her house were spared. Out of everybody in Jericho, the prostitute found favor. Can I ask you a question? This is my own personal revelation. If anybody has a better one, y'all can talk about it on Devo Energy, okay? It's my time. I can talk about my revelation right here. Out of all the people in Jericho, why God didn't use a priest? Leslie, why God didn't use a minister or evangelist? He used a prostitute. Why do you think he used a prostitute? She was comfortable with people using her. She had the right practice. It was just in the wrong place. She had the right practice. She was comfortable being used. She was just being used by the wrong people. I'm finna take out running in here by the wrong people. And hear me when I say this, it'll be a shame for it'll be a shame. Hear me when I say this. It will be a shame for you to die allowing everybody to use you but God. It will be a travesty if you die letting everybody use you but God. It'll be a travesty if you die giving to everybody but God's house. It'll be a travesty if you're giving all that advice to people who you know not going to listen to it and never get in purpose. Look at what he says. Go back to 17. I don't want to go too fast. Look what he says. Spare Rahab and everybody in her house, for she protected the spies. Next verse. And I'm going to stop. Do not take any of the things set apart for destruction. Look at this word. Or yourselves will be completely destroyed. Don't touch nothing, or you yourselves will be completely destroyed. You will bring trouble on the entire camp of Israel. Look at the next verse, verse 19. Everything made from silver, gold, bronze, iron is sacred to the Lord and must be brought into the what? Treasury. I'm finna get you home and I want you to catch this and let you log off. Why is this important, PMJ? This is important because God gives them absolute instructions. He says, when you go to the city, I'm going to give you victory. Don't take nothing. Don't touch nothing. Destroy everything. What happens? Somebody keeps something. So I want to make this make sense, and I'm going to go really fast. They go to Jericho and defeat all these people. They leave Jericho, go to this small city by the name of Ai, and they get defeated. Joshua is now tripping because he can't figure out, I want you to catch this, how do we go against the whole continent of America? How do we go against the United States of America and win, then go to Ansley and lose? This don't make sense. So he goes to God to try to figure it out. I'm finna help somebody if you stay with me. Watch this, Joshua 7:1. But the Israelites acted unfaithfully in regard to the devoted things. Achan, son of Carmi, the son of Zimri, and the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, took for them some stuff. Watch it. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel. You missed it. I'm going to read it slow and you tell me when you see the danger of a lie. But the Israelites acted unfaithfully in regard to the you saw it already, to the devoted things. Achan took some stuff. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel. Who stole? Achan. Who got to pay for it? Israel. Who lied? Achan. Who gonna deal with the consequences? Why is that important, PMJ? This is why it's important. I need you to catch this. The most powerful sin in your life is the one you haven't confessed yet. Achan hid what he stole in the ground. This is critical. I need you to catch this. Why is this important, PMJ? Achan hid what he stole in the ground. Why is that important, PMJ? I need you to catch this. Putting something in the ground is a form of a seed. To place something in the ground means it's either planted or buried. If it's buried, it's not your job to come back and get it. If it's planted, you're looking for a residual income. Achan subconsciously thought he could plant that which God told him not to touch in the ground and didn't realize spiritually it was growing. He planted gold. He didn't realize what he really planted was deceit. A lot of what we're dealing with right now is the harvest of old lies. Either we spoke or we lived. You fussing at children because they look like your old lie. Miserable in relationships because the whole relationship was built upon a lie. Nothing God gives you right now is enough because you prayed a lie. Trying to fit in with the majority. Trying to be humble and didn't have to be humble. You could have been real. Well, tell me what you really want to do. Well, anyway, he blessed me. Then when he blessed you anyway, now you miserable. When you should have said, well, if you don't mind, since you asked me, pray that I get the job at so-and-so making XYZ so I can just be in a place where I can help my family. That's what I really want. Well, God know my heart, but he heard your lips. So now you want to put the pressure on God to ignore what you said and know what you need? No, he's going to do that. He's going to do that by default. But death and life. Y'all don't like me today. I got to stop. I can keep going. Joshua is crying.